Hey everyone, Pastor Mike here from the Core and Time of Grace. I'm trying to answer with an open Bible some of the questions that you asked me at our most recent Question and Answer Sunday. And the next one on my list is really tough. Someone asked, what about mixed marriages? My husband is Catholic and wants us to have one family faith in his church. That's really a great question because this isn't like the year 1900. Lots of people will just be happy to meet someone who's a Christian, no matter what denomination they come from. And so a Lutheran falls in love with a Catholic, or a Baptist meets a Pentecostal, or maybe we cross over religions and a Christian person meets an agnostic, or someone who's Buddhist, or someone who's Hindu. What does God think about all that? And the Old Testament was really, really clear about that. God said no mixed marriages because he believed that putting your heart in a relationship would affect your heart's position with God. That you might easily follow the passions of the one you're sleeping next to instead of the one God that you worship. In the New Testament, believe it or not, there aren't that many clear passages that talk about the subject. 1 Corinthians 7 says that when you marry or date someone, it should happen in the Lord, but it doesn't define exactly what that means. Many people quote 2 Corinthians chapter 6, which talks about being unequally yoked. But that's not a chapter that's talking about relationships or dating or marriage. It's talking about worshiping together and how that fits when someone worships pagan gods and you're a follower of Jesus. But what about this specific question? What if you're a Christian and you meet someone who's a Christian, but you go to this church and they go to that church? Should he leave his church? Should you leave your church? Should you worship separate places? Should you switch off places? Probably the best, simplest advice I would give you comes from Mark chapter 8. This is Jesus speaking. He wasn't talking about marriage, but here's what he said. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. You notice those last two words? We shouldn't follow a guy to his church or a girl to her church. We should follow Jesus. So the first question shouldn't be, do we like your priest or my pastor better? Is the music better in your denomination or in my local congregation? The question should be, which preacher is following Jesus? And we might have to deny ourselves to answer that question the right way. We might have to think deeply about the way our parents raised us, or what is comfortable, or what's simpler, or what's easy. It might feel like taking up a cross, but if we follow Jesus, we end up in the best spot. Our relationship, our marriages, our families, and our souls will be as close to Jesus as can be. So my biggest question for you, if you're dating someone or if you're married, is to open a Bible together and to see, what did Jesus teach? Recently, I got to counsel a young couple who were raised very, very passionately, one Catholic and one Lutheran. And they're falling in love, and they wanted to know, well, what should we do? Should we just visit different churches until something feels right? And the advice I gave to them, I would give to you. Read the Bible together. Don't just share what you're comfortable with or what your parents taught you. Just read the teachings of Jesus, and God will make it clear how you should follow him. I hope that's helpful in our very religiously diverse world. I hope God blesses you and your relationships, and we'll talk to you next time.